1, 2. Alrighty, there you are.
Hello, Medford Poetry Gathering friends. This is Vince,
This is Naomi.
welcoming you once again to our home for the last video in our series for July 2020's Medford Arts Center Poetry Gatherings. These videos will be posted on the Medford Arts Center website, and they can also be found on YouTube. Simply search for Medford Arts Poetry. Tonight we'll be sharing some poetry that was submitted in our 2019 Adult Poetry Contest. We'll be celebrating the words of artists born in July, and we'll end with a very special reading of A Blessing from John O'Donohue. Let's begin. This is from Lynn Esposito. It is entitled Green Birds in the Woodpile. In the backyard near the fence, old toys, forgotten after the fort was taken down, sleep in the chopped cherry wood destined for the fireplace. Metal birds that stood lookout in playtime, now turned green, have little purpose. Where are the boys who used to come, they seem to ask? Where are the girls with their trilling laughter like real birds? All gone. Not even silence makes up for the loneliness that beats its wings above this corner of the yard, once filled and full. Thank you, Lynn. Hope you're well. Next from Match Hutchkins. This is the jewelry box. What secrets sleep within this tiny chamber and hide beneath its blush of polished timber? Do tales of love and life herein reside? Well, come, my sweet, and look inside. Family and loves and long-lost friends, aunts and cousins and fashion trends. Amidst the rings and clasps of gold, those napping yesterdays unfold. And though no heart beats within this chest, it wakes and lives at your request. So if you need a memory, just look inside and think of me. Thank you, Max. And finally, from the winner of our 2019 Adult Poetry Contest, this is a poem written by Susan Montagna. This is no place for kind girls or girls that are soft. They'll say you're a strange girl and a little bit off. It's no place for sweet voices that show hesitation. They'll cut out your throat without reservation. Not a place for a good heart or beauty within. They're judging each move an individual sin. It's no place for innocence or troubles unseen. Read the lines like a good girl and the spaces between. Speak only when spoken to. Don't step out of line. If they bother to ask, you tell them you're fine. Keep all those dark secrets under suppression. Deny any pain, sorrow, oppression. And don't look at her. She's not here to care. Just someone else to pretend you're not there. But don't dare resent, protest, or complain. Your thoughts are unwelcome, so don't try to explain. You don't get to rant and don't get to rave. Don't show any weakness. Pretend that you're brave. Put on your fake smile and shut out the world. Just a day in the life of the invisible girl. Thank you, Susan. Next, an artist born July 30th, 1818 in England, novelist and poet. She and her two sisters in 1846 published some poetry, but they published it under pseudonyms. They were known as Ellis, Currer, and Acton Bell. Currer Bell was actually Charlotte Bronte, and in 1847, she published Jane Eyre. Ellis Bell was Emily Bronte, and in 1847, she published her only novel, Wuthering Heights. But Emily Bronte was also a poet. This poem is entitled Love and Friendship. Love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holly tree. The holly is dark when the rose briar blooms, but which will bloom most constantly? The wild rose briar is sweet in spring. Its summer blossoms scent the air. Yet wait till winter comes again, and who will call the wild briar fair? Then scorn the silly rose wreath now, and deck thee with the holly's sheen, that when December blights thy brow, he still may leave the garland green. Next, an artist born July 21st, 1943 in Port Angeles, Washington. Essayist, short story writer, and poet. Winner of a fellowship from the Guggenheim Foundation. This is Tess Gallagher's love poem to be read to an illiterate friend. I've had to write this down in my absence and yours. These things happen. Thinking of a voice added, I imagine a sympathy outside us that protects the message from what can help being said. The times you've kept your secret putting on glasses or glancing into a page with interest. Give again the hurt you've forgotten, pretending to be one of us. So the hope of love translates as a series of hidden moments where we like to think someone was fooled into it. Who was I then who filled these days with illegible warnings? The marriages broken, the land pillaged by speculators, no word for a stranger. This island, where I thought the language was mine, has left me lonely and innocent as you or that friend who let you copy his themes until the words became pictures of places you would never go. Forgive it then, that so much of after depends on these, the words which must find you off the page. Tess Gallagher. Finally, an artist born July 3rd, 1883 in Prague, Kingdom of Bohemia. This artist attended university first as a chemistry student, then a law student, then he finally settled on literature. He's a novelist and a short story writer. His work fuses elements of realism and the fantastic. We read a lot of artists' poetry, but only this artist is also an adjective. We've all heard the word Kafkaesque. It's characteristic of darkness and oppression. Here are some quotes from Franz Kafka. I write differently from what I speak. I speak differently from what I think. I think differently from the way I ought to think. And so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. The truth is always an abyss. One must, as in a swimming pool, dare to dive from the quivering springboard of trivial everyday experience and sink into the depths in order to later rise again, laughing and fighting for breath, to the now doubly illuminated surface of things. The decisive moment in human evolution is perpetual. That is why the revolutionary spiritual movements that declare all former things worthless are in the right, for nothing yet has happened. Don't bend. Don't water it down. Don't try to make it logical. Don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. And finally, life's splendor forever lies in wait about each one of us in all its fullness. But veiled from view, deep down, invisible, far off, it is there. Though not hostile, not reluctant, not deaf. If you summon it by the right word, by its right name, it will come. Franz Kafka. For those of you in the past who have joined us for our poetry gatherings, one of the favorite parts of the evening is at the very end, when Naomi and I distribute a piece of poetry, and we all read it together. Naomi and I have missed hearing all of your voices. So for tonight, we're going to end with a blessing from John O'Donohue, and you'll hear Naomi's voice. Again, we miss you all so much. and we hope this blessing finds you healthy and safe. May you awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence.
May you have joy and peace in the temple of your senses.
May you receive great encouragement when new frontiers beckon. May you respond to the call of your gift and find the courage to follow its path. May the flame of anger free you from falsity. May the warmth of heart keep your presence aflame, and may anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. May you be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. Missing you all so very much. Until we see you again in August.
We miss you. Stay well. Good night.